Hi, welcome in. If you are here, you're stepping into your highest timeline, and I am here to help you navigate that journey. I'm just going to tap in, get a channeled message from Spirit, then pull some cards. We'll go wherever the energy takes us. If at any point anything resonates with you with this message, please comment, let me know, and make sure to like this video. All right, let me get tapped in. Tapping in now, Spirit, to this collective. Bring this message to anyone who needs to hear it. Remove me, make me a clear channel for your word, Spirit. Bring through messages only for the collective's highest and greatest good, and messages that would resonate with them so they know, yes, this message is for me. What message does the collective need in this moment, Spirit? Seeing a golden retriever getting a bath, like those movies or shows where the dog's getting a bath and they grab the hose and they start running around with the hose and the kids are like, ah, like, don't spray me. That's kind of the funny scene that I'm seeing here. And I see you kind of looking out at this scene. So you're looking at kids in the front yard. You're looking out from the front door of your house, out at this scene, and you're just kind of smiling, like you're taking a moment to be like, wow, like we're here, and it just feels really wholesome, and you're taking in how wholesome it is. And as I say that, I'm getting this sense that this is really an accomplishment for you, that your life has not always felt so wholesome, that your life hasn't always felt, like the dream of, the white picket fence and all of that. Like, that's not how you grew up. So being able to get these moments where everybody is safe and everybody is having fun and you're not worried, and you've created this environment for your family, you're realizing how big of a deal this is for you. Yeah, and it's almost bringing like tears to your eyes, but just happy, happy tears. And you're just basking in this moment of gratitude. I'm feeling the sense of arrival. Yeah, like, holy smokes, it took me a lot to get here, and I'm here, and I want more of this. Like, you're really proud too. Like, you're proud that you've created this for your family. Like, yeah, there's arrival, but it was a lot. Somebody might look and just go, oh, that's just another family, or that's just nice that she got, that she's there. But you're like, no, this means a lot to me. Like, you can't buy this, it feels like, like, if people only knew what you'd been through to create this level of like safety and wholesomeness, and just like, I really keep getting the word safety. So maybe you have created safety for yourself one way or another. You've left a situation, or you've been through enough healing where you've chosen you, or there's some level of safety that you have chosen, or things that you needed to let go of, or things that you needed to change about your circumstances to create safety, and you are now feeling the fruits of those choices. You're feeling what being grounded feels like. And this isn't like some big, abundant windfall or something. This is like, we're here, like, we're happy, and I feel good and safe and regulated because of that. Okay, let's pull some cards. Which deck, Spirit? Okay, I'm getting the Wispel Wild Reflections deck. Looks like this. So it sounds like you have created safety for yourself, or maybe you're feeling like you want that. I am getting a sense that you either are in the middle of asking for that, in the middle of getting that level of safety, or you have recently achieved that. I do get a little bit of a sense of like, I hope we can be safe soon, feel safe soon. So maybe you are still working towards it. But this seems like, let's see what Spirit wants you to know about this feeling of safety. What more for this collect? Oh, you know what? This is Light Seers Tarot. This is not the Whisper Wild Reflections deck. You gotta remember just by the artwork. But Light Seers Tarot. All right, what else do we have for the collective Spirit about this message? I'm feeling it in my sacral chakra the most, which is your creativity, your divine feminine, your reproductivity. What more do we have for this collective? Yeah, so what I'm getting with my sacral chakra is for your creativity and your divine femininity to flow and to feel good and flowy, you need to have safety. That can get blocked off real quick without a feeling of felt safety. Okay, well, what I get first is the Emperor. And in this card, I'm really getting this sense of you being like taking your power back. So look, this is you kind of like sitting there going, no, I'm not living in a world that I don't feel safe. That ain't happening anymore. So I'm gonna sit back poised and take my power back. Don't really care what comes of that. And I get that this was not easy for you, or maybe even that right now you're kind of riddled with like, when is this going to happen? When am I going to feel safe? And I get that this has come through a lot of healing for you. So you've spent a lot of time healing the parts of your nervous system, healing the parts of your inner child that didn't feel safe. And you've realized through your healing how much of your childhood patterns and dynamics that you've brought into this world, that you've created your reality of not feeling safe because of some of the patterns you were perpetuating. But I'm getting that you have healed that. So through a period where you were really just like kind of a victim, kind of like, when am I going to get out of this? Why is life so hard? Why do I keep getting myself in these situations? Why does this keep happening? You finally just like gave up and went inside and surrendered. And it was through that you realized, no, I can create safety for myself. In fact, the only person that can create safety for me is me. So I need to get out of victim mode, get out of, why does this always keep happening to me? And I need to heal. I need to go back and love on the little parts of me that felt like they needed to perpetuate chaos or perpetuate situations where you were abandoning yourself, and you need to take your power back. I'm getting from Spirit, we can all create felt safety within ourselves, but it starts within ourselves. It starts with tending to our nervous system, which is dysregulated, which is telling us we're not safe. Even if logically you know you're safe. In your brain, you might know you're safe. your nervous system, because of traumas you've been through, is telling you that you're not, so you need to go back and heal that. And I'm getting that, you know that. Like, you've been working on this a lot, and you've already decided to take your power back and create felt safety for yourself. What else does this collective need to know, Spirit? Yeah, because we can feel unsafe in a whole lot of things. Financially, physically, emotionally. Like, we can't speak our truth. This could just even be at work. Like, yeah, technically we're safe, but we're not safe to be us. We're not safe to advocate for ourselves in some way. Yeah, so with this Four of Pentacles, I get that you have not felt like you could, you're very guarded. You're very protected because there's things that have hurt you in the past. And so you take whatever little feelings of safety you have, the patterns that you've created, 11:11 on the clock, the patterns that you have created to give yourself safety. But, you know, sometimes those patterns don't serve us anymore, especially once we're safe. We don't need to keep running them. But this is me seeing you holding on to those patterns. Now, this is Pentacles, so this actually could have to do with money. Maybe you have money patterns around money where you feel like you don't have enough. Maybe you have enough now, but you feel like you always don't because you just grew up poor or you grew up without enough resources. So this has been something that you've held on really tightly to your money out of fear. But I also get with this card that this is just all your little patterns that you've put together to help you make you feel safe. And look, she's like, listen, I just want to be alone with my patterns of safety. But it's just Four Pentacles, right? It's not all the wealth in the world, and she doesn't feel free to be, right? She's more protective and keeping herself safe. And I get through your healing work that you've really connected in with Source. I also am getting to tell you to connect in with Source. Make sure that you find all of your safety and your wealth and your stability and your security all comes from Source. So tapping into Source, tapping into your highest self at all times, the self that did not need to take on these patterns of protection, tapping in is helping you let go and walk away from all of the patterns that you are perpetuating that are telling you that you're not safe, but they're actually patterns that are limiting you. So they're patterns that you had to take on to keep yourself safe. You had to save money very tightly, or you had to people please, or you had to overwork, overexert yourself. These are all things that you had to do to like survive in your upbringing or whatever. But as you connect in with Source and you realize, oh, I'm an all-powerful being and I am safe, then you're able to walk away from these patterns that you're holding on so tightly to. You're able to create the safety that you deserve. What more for this collective, Spirit? Yeah, I'm really getting that it's a cycle. It's like you learn a new level of safety, and then there's a new level of patterns, there's a new level of healing, there's a new level, but it's always staying connected in with your highest true self, because your soul self didn't need to take on patterns, right? There's a soul under there that just wants to be free, just wants to be, and when you're living in that frequency, you don't have to hold on so tightly to patterns to keep you safe, because you're in a frequency of being safe, of being happy, of being regulated. And then you just attract more of that to yourself. Okay. And I get that Spirit's saying these are all lies that we tell ourselves, right? You are not bound. You're not unsafe. You think you're unsafe. You think you're bound. You think you're a victim of something. You think you can't do something. You think you need to protect yourself, but you don't. Like, you're free. You're looking in a mirror and not seeing the truth of how free you are. Okay? And I'm getting with this Two of Wands that you're making a decision to move away from or move towards. So this is to move away from old patterns that aren't serving you anymore. But this is moving towards starting to think about, what does my safe life feel like? Because so many times all we think about is what we're leaving, right? I can't do this in this job anymore. I can't do this in this relationship anymore. I can't do this in this housing situation anymore. And why do I keep creating this? And you keep bringing this guarded, protected person to the table, and you keep creating that. Well, and you've walked away from a lot of things a lot of times, and each time you make a little bit more progress. But as you've stayed really tapped into spirit and opened up your channels of divinity into your highest self, you've started to think about, wait, what is my ideal life? What's my rich life? What's my I feel so safe life? Not what am I walking away from? What am I walking towards? What do I want to create for myself? And Spirit's saying that's so possible. Like, the High Priestess knows her worth. She knows she doesn't need to talk about it. She knows she has all the wisdom. She doesn't need to protect herself. And so what are you going towards? And this is really thinking of that dream life. So that's looking outside your front door and seeing the golden retriever that's splashing the kids and having a bunch of fun and saying, that's what I'm going towards. I'm not just going to keep leaving crappy things. Like, I want to go towards really fun, fulfilling, loving, safe, caring, nurturing things, right? And with that, I get the Three of Cups, which the Three of Cups is celebration. It is emotion, fulfillment, love, community, people that love you, people that feel safe, people that get you, people that validate you, see your worth, and value you. So when you're thinking about, instead of like what you're leaving behind, what you're going towards, you stay tapped in to this place where you're really high frequency and manifesting, and you get your community, and you get the life that's out there that you're dreaming of. That's what Spirit's saying, is saying you're still holding on tight to some things, okay? And you've done so much work. You've done so much work to identify where you're holding yourself back, to heal from those things, to walk away from things. But Spirit really wants you to work on being less guarded. And how you're going to do that is by tapping in, becoming that clear channel, and really starting to think about not what you're walking away from, but what you want to walk towards, and the community, the sense of validation, value, reciprocity that you want to feel in what you're walking towards. Any last messages, Spirit? Anything else? Yeah, I love it when we can shift from like, okay, we know what we're walking away from. Like, let's dream about what we want to create for ourselves. Like, what does our rich life, I always call it my rich life, right? Your cup runneth over life. Like, what does that look like? And, you know, I know for me, it's usually simple things, but it's like feeling good, you know, having energy, being able to have the autonomy and freedom to do what I want when I want to do it, feeling like I'm valued in my work. Like, it's not, you know, material things. So what does your rich life look and feel like? And how are we manifesting and visualizing and coming from that frequency rather than what you're walking away from? So I get that you are the Empress. This is the final words from the universe, okay, from Spirit. You are the Empress, okay? So the Empress knows her worth. She sits back and she lets this come to her, all the good things. She's a receiver, okay? She's a receiver and a creator. She's so valuable and she knows her worth so much that she sits back and she creates without having to do that much work, right? So she's pregnant with this amazing gift that she can offer the world. And just like if you're pregnant with a baby, like you don't do a whole bunch of work. I mean, trust me, it takes a lot out of you, but you just create without needing to create. Like you're just so creative. You can create life by just being you. Okay, so we started this out with the Emperor. So like this is like I'm taking back my power. This is like I'm done not being safe. This is like, oh, I'm worth it all. I'm worth this life. It's not like a whole bunch of work to be like I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore. This is like this is what I'm leaving. I'm done with that. I'm taking my power back. This is like what I'm receiving. What am I getting? After all of that work and standing my ground and knowing my worth, like I'm ready to receive. And through my receiving, I will create for this world. And I have, when you step into knowing your worth here, which comes by being connected, then the universe, spirit has this Knight of Cups coming in for you. So this Knight of Cups is like a love offering. There's flowers and there's a picnic and there's a white horse back here. It's just like receiving all the gifts, all the blessings that you have always deserved, but you haven't been stepping into your Empress. And no judgment. Like we need to realize where we're lying to ourselves and what we're spending a whole bunch of time on. And we need to do the healing work and we need to walk away from all of the things. Like, trust me, you've done a lot of stuff. You're not going to let it go overnight. You're still guarded, but the universe is saying, spirit is saying, stay tapped in. Keep dreaming about where you're headed because your community, your safe, loving, validated, nurturing community is out there. You're the Empress. We need you. The world needs you to know your worth so that you can create for this world. And as you do that, you bring in all the blessings and all the gifts that you have deserved this whole time. That's the message. The lighthouse can show you the shore, but you still need to steer the ship. If any of this resonated, please like, comment, let me know, share this video with anyone you think it would help, and until next message.